Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Just I need something else should do. And looks like everything's booted up just fine. Give me a moment to activate the live chat windows. And looks like everything's booted on up. Give me a moment to check my other computer. And looks like everything's good to go, so let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Not 4, Age Mythology. Did they say Age Mythology 4? Age Mythology replay. Spawn on top right side as a blue Poseidon got Johnny Kusin Posse? I have no idea how to pronounce that. Spawn on the south side as the red Amaterasu. We got slash MT Renato, I think. When it comes to these major gods, Poseidon of course is focused on cavalry, spawns most from raised buildings, cavalry caravans, which is quite important, myth units get additional speed per age, markets and stables are cheaper, markets have the better improved exchange rates, and free Sea Scout. Of course, does give access to Lure, Hippocampus, a militia, and Lord of Horses to give them a little bit of health regen. Amaterasu is economic focus, and Samurai gets a bit of trickle of gold per Samurai tier. Samurai Onimushas get additional experience outside of combat. Trying to increase the capacity of the nearby resources up to 140%. Samurai Onimushas regenerates hit points twice as fast. Short course can make the target unit get quite a bit of shields. Way of the sun gives a little bit of gold trickle. And Kagura summons a new Miko and allows your Mikos to train and heal faster. Just make them generally better support units. They're more close to heroic villagers than actually a combat hero due to the fact they're meant to just generate favor, and that's about it. Blue finds a lot of goats. They are, of course, the goat. Let's see. Amaterasu is mostly focused on gold income. She provides no real combat bonuses other than just other economic stuff, so her being a samurai one's not really that true. So Poseidon may need a counter samurai, but she doesn't got inherent bonuses from it. Looks like Amaterasu is aging up to Ame no Uzume. Ame no Uzume provides the free myth units, or resurrection of every other myth unit. Whirlwind Weasel. Infantry hit points 10%, and of course Bushido experience upon death. And make your Mikos a little bit better. So it looks like she's eyeing for a bit more of a Miko one. I did realize something as well. This icon there, that feels like Age of Empires 3 icon there. That could be Age of Empires 3 icons. It's not common to see the Age of Empires share some icons here and there. And Poseidon could age up to Ares or Hermes. I'm more biased towards Ares for a lot of stuff, though Hermes is probably better, more fit for Poseidon. Poseidon does have inherently better speed for cavalry. He can make them even faster with this, as well as increasing their damage, and which could be very nice. Not to mention a free Pegasus that acts better as well. Of course, Ares does provide the Cyclops Pestilence, and Ceasefire probably equal in capability, though Ceasefire is probably a little bit more useful. Pestilence, it's a little bit weak from Gold Edition. Early high passes could be very useful against Japanese, a little bit situational though. Hoplites and Militia and Prodromos, all those units get 1 divine damage, which is very nice. Makes your Prodromos better at counter cavalry, and your hoplites is generally better. And slightly better militia never hurts, or at least not you. And Toxays get increased 10% damage. Mostly is aging up to Hermes. Going for our Pegasus now. Kagura right there. And looks like Amaterasu age up first to Ame no Uzume. Assume I'm pronouncing all those names right. And since I got back to the eco phase, I got done talking about everything. So let's just fast forward a little bit there. We'll probably see this deployed out very soon. Yep. Gets deployed out right here. This is a capturable structure, so ignore the 100 health. There's a Whirlwind Weasel. It may look like it runs on 4, but it is actually not super fast. Apparently, giant blade daggers at your elbows is not exactly great. And there is a Centaur there. Centaur, of course, it has a normal movement speed, or a good movement speed. And looks like Pegasus does get hit a bit. So the Centaur can just simply run around circles around the Tachi. I don't know how to pronounce a lot of things. Relic being picked that up will give access to the Ulor's bow, increasing maximum range for her ranged soldiers, which would have been very nice if she'd gone for the other minor god. I wonder if 2 of these can help you resummon a large number of myth units, or just simply spreads of the queue. Something I need to take time to test out myself.
Prostagma.
Atlantia and the Centaur is there. Got a Naginata Rider. And none of these villagers are actually quite wounded. I'm not sure from what though. I don't think the Centaur got that damage. If you click on the Centaur, I've got, yeah, 74 damage. That's a lot more 74 damage there. So maybe it was some wildlife they were eating. Blue found a majority of the goats. Red has an ample number, but blue, goats, of course, the goat. There's probably more goats on the field. Basic walls going up. Nice little wall in there. Hoplites in the build queue. I'm going to fast forward a little bit there since it's back at the eco phase. Miko does build a shrine there. Remember, her Amaterasu's shrines are just simply better, so the extra favor generation can be very nice to go along with this. It does not affect the Kitsune, so individual Kitsunes will not be revived, nor will pairs of them. It's fine though, they can't get the Nine-Tail Goddess upgrade. We do now have the Thesis here to help engage the Weasel. Hoplites here also put a few. Looks got a bit of bleed damage there, though most damage over time effects are just simply not useful. You can see the soul is being ran back there. Does throw a barrier on top of the Naginata Riders, but not being focused on the other Naginata Riders is, so probably mistargeted overall. You can see here, here's the soul. And if I were to reread the description, respawns the most recently fallen myth units, whoever captures controls it. Nope, and it is actually being resummoned now. So it's only, like, it is every myth unit potentially. I actually don't know exact mechanics of it. I thought it was like every other. It sounds like just all of them, which would be probably very good. So extra ones probably just help with the production queue. Maybe they changed it a little bit since initial release. Amaterasu so far is the least of the Japanese gods I've casted so far. I think only cast her once, maybe twice so far. Onimusha does get a bit of healing there. Miko gets ripped apart. Like I said, they're basic heroic villagers. See 55 health. This villager also has 55 health. Onimusha goes down. A couple of villagers pull out their knives trying to shank these men. As well as Atlantia. Samurai here. The hoplites are getting pretty wounded. The samurai is a counter infantry unit, offering plus 2% damage multiplier and good health. 4 experience. Not 4 experience, 4 population cost. Festus and Atlantia still remains of 1 hoplite. The Whirlwind Weasel does go down. The heroes do go down. And the last hoplite will be going down as well. Looks like the elephants are being eaten. Delicious elephant meat. Access. Looks like the villagers are advancing. Blue will spot this. Blue has his own secondary town, so going for another barracks now. Howdy. Yep, happy Halloween. A spooky holiday. And I just realized this town center is one of the 4 town centers more on blue side of the map, so red is being trying to stab a forward position here. Guess we'll see soon enough how well it does. Blue right now is eyeing for a hoplite. Currently has 2 relics. We got the Chenong's Orker Whip. Villagers gather faster from the various farming upgrades. And siege weapons are cheaper. Dwarven calipers. Looks like I got another watermill going up. Ready to watermill these giraffes to a thin red pace. Yep, oh, you too. Sorry, I just saw your other comment. I wonder how giraffe neck meat tastes. We do have, let's see, more hoplites there, mining upgrade. We do have now the survival equipment and husbandry, because all those goats need a husband. We do have the elephant has been obtained, multiple housing being built. And we also got a bit more of eco phase, so I'm going to just fast forward a little bit. More villagers there. When it comes to aging up again, Poseidon go for Dionysus or Aphrodite. For Poseidon, Dionysus is generally the better option. It does provide you bronze, a good god power. Hydra, decent frontline myth unit. Better health for Gen 4, the Skylight, and Hydra. But here, all units get additional 5% hit point, very useful. And Cavaliers get 30% lifesteal, as opposed to Aphrodite, who's also another good goddess. We do have the Cursed God power, great versus the small limited forces of the dojo, such as the Samurai, and primarily just Samurai. Nemean Lion, of course, a good stunning myth unit. Like any cat, screams at things it doesn't like. Divine Blood makes your villagers carry faster, build fast, or carry more, build faster, and move faster. Howdy. Golden Apples make your villagers gather favor better, which is always quite nice to have. For Amaterasu, she could eye for a Hachiman or a Rajan. Since she's more focused on Samurai, but not really, she go for Hachiman to get the Shogun who summoned Samurai. Then there's also ranged soldiers attack bonus versus myth units. There's a lot of bonuses for your heroes and ranged soldiers. The 8 banners make your heroes have a little bit faster training time and a little bit health for gen, which goes go a long way. So he's focused on heroes as with a bit of hint of Samurai. Versus Rajan, which is a Thunderous Burst, great AoE stun. And Raiju, a 2-tailed dog. Oh. Sorry, I missed that. We do now have a good swarm of hoplites in the center of the map here. The Whirlwind Weasel did get a bit damage there. Medium hoplites, probably good idea to go for heavy hoplites. But overall, not really necessary, seeing all these units push are overrunning red. Alatia is starting to go down. Got the Samurai here, a little bit late production of them, as well as a dojo, multiple dojos. There's just way too many hoplites for a small number of Samurai. Currently the medium Samurai, heavy Samurai is about halfway there. She is going to be aging up to Rajan. Looks like all this forward production will be going on down. And if we go back to her possible, let's take a better look at Rajan. Actually, no, she does cancel Rajan. Rajan does also provide more Raiju speed, make your god powers cheaper. Infantry get lifesteal, which is also going to be pretty nice. Not to mention the previous upgrade, those samurai can get plus 10% health. These guys can get additional plus 15% health. So you can go for some healthy ones or stronger healthy infantry or stronger heroes. And Poseidon is aging up to Aphrodite. I generally do believe Dionysus is better for Poseidon, but doesn't have to mean go for it. Red has no military units in the field, and there is a massive swarm of hoplites. This is a problem for Red. Red looks just going for enough resources to age up, but needs to keep up more stuff, to say the least. Red has a big queue of samurai. We now got the hoplites straight forward. Does it take a bit of time to resummon that whirlwind weasel? No fortified town center. Don't think any. Nope. No other upgrades like court architects, things that sort. Does give village inside the town center. Samurai trying to pick it off, but this town's will be going on down. Villagers need to keep on running. They're about to get killed off. They have a similar number of villagers, but that will quickly change here. More samurai being built now. But Red's taking some serious losses so far. Curse. Looks like Curse was summoned here. It didn't appear to got too many pigs there. Definitely a good call to bring Curse here to deal with all the help deal with samurai. But now we do have heavy samurai to fall in the field. Excellent. For Amaterasu to help her defend this area. Now we got a good round of high passes, counter infantry units being deployed in the field. That's just going to be backing on off. Fresh whirlwind weasel. This never got captured, so didn't have to worry about donating myth units to her opponent. Do not have a fortress here. Poseidon needs more gold to age on up. Has a lot of wood stored up. Going for some military academies now. With amount of samurai on the field, probably a good idea to go for some Tox phase. Nemean line on the field. And Amaterasu needs a lot more food to age up. Luckily there's a good number of piggies here, as well as some goats here. Heavy infantry now being researched by Poseidon. Very nice. He is going for some Petrobolos. And got some rice farms going on up. More woods being obtained by Amaterasu. She has a good stockpile of gold. Needs a lot more food. She is trying to go for a Rajan again. Probably canceled it so she can just make sure she doesn't actually spend the resources when she needed them. She does also have a gold trickle of 2.5 per second. More upgrades right now for Poseidon. Ooh, that thesis is Nita Rice's thesis of how not to get killed soon. We have multiple piggies now being slain to get their delicious meats. Plow now being researched. Maybe going a little bit too heavy on farms this way. Probably needs to get out some watermills this direction. Because this drop-off location is a little bit far. Luckily, watermills also has a wood drop-off, so putting it here and here wouldn't be too half bad. But still, you don't want to go this far away. 2 is okay, not great, but 3, that's way too far, in my opinion. And we got a big round of Nemean lines being deployed on the field. He did cancel the Orthrus Roar. Nope, he's going for the Roar of Orthrus. But this large number of Nemean lines should cause some issues. Orthrus Roar does do greater area effect and increases roar damage area by 100%. So it increases the radius by 100%, which means increases surface area almost by a ×3 factor. I forget the exact mathematical formula. If I have to double the radius, but it is quite significant. Slight increase of radius is massive. And we do have now Rajan being queued up. A good number of samurai. Lucius massing up army there. Has no villagers queued on up, but is maxed out of villager population. It still has access to ceasefire. We do now have the age up queued on up, Hepatis. Which give you access to Plenty Vault, as well as some upgrades for his unique cavalry unit, the Anataros, which also has AoE damage, which should be particularly good versus the Samurai. We do now have the increased infantry hit points and give them lifesteal by 10%. Extra exotic doggo there. Japanese with the two-tailed animals. You got the Neko, or Nekomata. I forget what the exact full name was. It the two-tailed cat, the Kitsune, the multi-tailed fox, and now the two-tailed doggo, Raju. We also have now a Levy Dojo, and good number of samurai queued on up. Max population is 170 versus 135. Red should apply to be a bit defensive. It does have a number of these bushis. The unique range, or the heroic archer. And with now Nemean lions, those archers are going to be very important relatively soon. A couple Onomushas on the field. Any good amount of free EXP generation for the Samurai on Onomusha. Blue has a maxed out army, but Paul just trying to age up before pushing forward. Should I go for a time attack? How's your blacksmith upgrades? Only has copper, can go for bronze. Or for gold, 1 to 3. We also now this draft horses there. Paul should save up some favor to get out second Plenty Vault as soon as he can. Plenty Vault has been summoned. Mark it in the corner. Can at least get some basic queue up of some traders. We do have various research being well researched. He waited until that one blacksmith reduction heroic god improvement there. Now we got the Thunderous Raj. He could perhaps pop ceasefire to stall this out. Massive, it does pop the ceasefire. Takes a lot of damage from this. Now this entire army is wounded, and he has no way of healing it. Poseidon has no sources of healing other than some health regen for cavalry. Bronze upgrades there, going for another doggo, or replacing this doggo. Champion upgrades, iron upgrades, getting all the upgrades. That one lady would be going on down. Got a number of heroes here, but that's a large number of Nemean lions. A little bit too much of the roars. They're going to be chain stunned for a bit of time. Hypasis now surround the samurai there. Whirlwind Weasel does go down. Catapults, Petropolis are going straight to the structures. Not a bad idea. Polyphemus coming to his way forward now. Of course, these cats are screaming in the face of their enemies, like any other cat would do. Polyteam's knocked around some heroes. Now I got a forward fortress being established now. Mythology trying to be replaced there, going for more samurai, more Onomushans. Has no tier 4 champion soldiers, so at least they are equal in champion status. Age up's not too big of an issue at the moment, or barring the lack of copper or iron upgrades. The little structures going down, more Hypasis on the queue. Well, this Nemean Lions are causing so many issues for these samurai, the constant stunning. They're just ready to push forward to claim the town center, trying to build another fortress now. Town center will be going on down. More Yumi archers being deployed in the field. And if he can't capture this to replace his myth units. I wonder if it controls the converts the Q as well. Villagers getting hit. He's pushing forward with a decent sized army. And red maybe just going idle. Number of villagers going down. Does claim it, and looks like the queue does get cleared out. So that should start replacing zone myth units as they start falling. And with the town sim nearby, it's going to be difficult to re-steer it. Towns that gets built there, he could probably start seeing the farms. Red's trying to build more on military force here. Probably needs to take time to just regroup forces. We'd let them go in one at a time. Counter center for temple. I pass going for the peasants now. Or commoners. And it looks like all this infantry will be cleaned on up. Some more Yumi archers being deployed in the field. Colossus being replaced. Making short work of a very simple structure. Yeah, I don't see any real way Brett can come back. He's trying to build a watermill here, just calling up some wood. But good enough, these villagers are going down. Red has no military force on the field. Trying to build some more units. Nemean Lions just absolutely crushed him, it seemed like. Besides, has a good amount of favor there. Amateur also has no favor at the moment, exactly 0. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward because it seems like the game's ultimately over. None of these villagers are nice and hidden. Another Plentyfold has been summoned. And Poseidon can actually eye for age 5 right now. Bring the Wonder. He has a massive stockpile of all resources. And he could just outright push forward. I'm going to fast forward even faster now since they're a little bit too idle. Samurai push the way forward, but they're going to get completely surrounded and cleaned on up. Got fortifications and a large amount of blue units nearby. And red does back of the game now. That's Aaron Grade saying, thanks for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see. Too low rank. Nope. Nope. Any of these names seem familiar. One does seem a bit familiar. Nope. Let's see. I do that one. It's probably the best one to get of decent length. Let's double check this one. want to make sure. Yeah. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age of Empires or Age Mythology replay. Spawn on the south side as the Cyan Odin, we got Kioni. Spawn on the north side as the Red Patron Goddess, we got Olak. When it comes to the major gods, of course Odin is the Great Hall units. Dwarves and Gatherers and Dwarves hunt 10% faster. Great Hall units generate additional favor. Human units and heroes get a little bit of health regen, that's significant, and does get 2 free ravens. Great Hunt doubles the amount of animals nearby in a certain location, get free scouting ravens. And of course your berserks get additional speed and melee damage against myth units. The Patron Goddess is a focus on technology. Towns and citadels provide additional 5 population. Monuments give you a divine shield, 25 radius if empowered, 50. Empowered monuments heals nearby units in 50 range, which is actually pretty nice. I didn't see that part. That could be very nice, as well as generate additional favor, so very good idea to empower a monument. Technologies cost less, obelisks cost 5 less gold, and build 60% faster. Does that make them free? I thought they only cost 5 gold to begin with. It says 5, so can't tell you if that's makes it free or not. I thought it only cost 5. Maybe they only cost 10. Either way, dirt cheap. Of course, when it's aging up, the Patron Goddess is pretty good with myth units favor generation. She doesn't really excel at one sort of thing, so I'm not sure what she's going to be building. Odin could either go for Heimdall or Freyja. Heimdall has an excellent minor god power, and Hari is a nice force multiplier when it comes to myth unit. But his upgrades, Siege Tower health is nice and all, walls are nice, hit points are nice and all. And of course, fastest training research is okay, but not great. Freyja, you got Forest Fire, which is a okay god power. Valkyrie is a good myth unit, provides mobile healing and mobility. Additionally, you get additional cavalry speed and hit points, which is useful for the Great Hall units, so it's more likely Odin to go for Freyja. And of course, you get additional hero hit points, which is good for Great Hall units, and goatees enables them early, so probably Freyja. The Patron Goddess can age up to either Anubis or Bass. You get Anubis provides plagues and serpents, which is okay myth god power. It's not great. Anubites, it's a decent myth unit. It is pretty cheap on food, so it's a little bit spammable. The favor cost is of course 15, but you do have the crops there improve money's favor generation rate. And you get a really poor mythological upgrade, Serpent Spear, which is most poison damage is just not good at all. It provides like 2 damage over 6 seconds. That's nothing. Oh, Prosperity is being summoned by the Patron Goddess. She is aging up to Anubis, so I don't need to worry about the other minor god. She's going for the Prosperity God power, improved gold gathering rate by villagers, so she may be eyeing for a secondary town center quickly. We're gonna fast forward there. We got Freyja now being put on the field. The Patron Goddess only has 4 villages in food, so she's probably gonna eye for fast expansion. She has getting quite a bit of gold there. The Prosperity God power has subsided. Barracks. Oh, so that was the Ravens over here. I wonder if she... Maybe this one big psych house. She just quickly grabs as much gold as possible, not going to be aggressive. This may be a deception tactic. I just want to wait and see. Do now the Anubite heading down south for the winter. Good hit and run unit. Perfect for the Patron Goddess. Does jump on top of some villagers and sort of fails getting damage done. Plague of Serpents summoned out somewhere, but where I'm not sure. Oh, right there, right in front of me. And the first year, they get distracted by the serpents, so not getting any bonus damage there. And the plague of serpents actually is slowly biting down the Herseer. Does finish off there. Frasia's Valkyrie should be handing down south to help engage the Nubite. Gains good damage to some of them. A Nubite may need to jump away. Does move ever so slightly faster than the Herseers. Plague of Serpents actually do 90% less damage versus villagers. They do approximately 0.5 damage per attack before their melee armor even kicks in, so it's like close to 0.4. And the Nubite just need to falls back, find himself a priest to heal him up. First, he's going to be taking out this obelisk. It'll torment him no longer. Birdie here. Number of housing there just to provide some basic scouting and walling. Oh, there's another Nubite there. It's also pretty wounded. These priests going to have a lot of work ahead of them. Got a number of axemans here, as well spearmen. Versus the Norse, it's generally a good idea to go for axemen against, well, all their infantry. Probably a good idea to minimize slingers, just use them as a limited counter force rather than generalist force. Since his opponent is Odin and he is going for raiding cavalry, spearmen will be a good option. Triple Nubites. A Nubite upgrade. Oh wait, has it already researched the Nubite upgrade? Yep, we already have the upgraded Nubites there, which increases their hit points by 40%, melee damage by 20%, increases their maximum range of the jump, and jump attack work rate, so attacks faster for human soldiers, myth units, and villagers, whatever that precisely means. But it simply means the jump, everything's going to be slightly improved. Nubites should be able to deal with these raiding cavalry no problem. 105 health, 8 damage, versus 13 damage at a fast attack speed of 16.5 and 280 health.
Into you.
Got a relic here. Arrows to all far, increasing building damage. Building melee damage. What building does melee damage? I actually don't know. What building does melee damage? I'm assuming the Sun Tower still does range damage and doesn't even do divine damage, if I remember correctly. You now have the Rumen Numnir, enabling the go these early, and also increases hero hit points. Obelisk will spot all that. Like Service Research, got Necropolis on the build queue, got Nubites and more Spearmen being pulled them out. More Goaties, more Herseers. Looks like Odin's going for a heavy amount of heroes, which will give him a slight bit of favor generation. We do have Scotty queued on up. Scotty does provide Frost Giants, throwing X-Men range and tracking, better food collection rate, particularly from farms. Plus 20% collection rate from farms is actually very significant, 10% for everything else. And of course, Frost Giant's a good way to lock down individual siege weapons and myth units. Birdie here. I don't believe the bird is classified as a... Oh, it says myth unit, so in theory should be smited out of the air by priests. I go from the obelisk here. Good number of forces. The spearmen will be falling back entirely. Obelisk does go up. I apologize for my drink being opened up. These forces now falling back. Looks like we have Sobek queued on up. A new bites, maybe on jump on in. They do take a bit of damage. This one does get sort of stuck there. It looks like these new bites will be picked on off. Sobek does provide the following. Does provide the Locust God power, good versus villagers, and instantly kills farms. Rocks, which are not really used as a transport unit. As it shows, we just upgrade those pets Sobek, the laser crocs, food and hit points, and reduced vehicle cost. And better camels. Which, since this opponent's going for can't go for a cavalry base plate, can be very nice. But doesn't mean will. We've got more throwing axemen queued on up, as well as some Goatee. Now here we do have the obelisk going on up, rhinoceros being obtained.
Into
Up here we've got the spearmen, maybe on the push forward. We've got a number of basic walls on the field.
Garrick.
More slingers being employed in the field. This one has gone for a number of throwing axemen.
Great.
Rhinoceros going on down. Got some copper upgrades for red right now. And do have now Sobek queued on up. Starting to push his way forward. Forest Fire summoned there. A bit before timing, since Red's already pulling back. More reasons to pull back now. Red should be able to just turn around and start engaging. There's a good number of the spearmen there. I think a couple of axemen mixed on in. Things can take some time focus on the Goatee. I think Red is taking a lot of free damage when he could have probably just turned around and fought. Maybe I see jump on in. Slingers need to go micro towards these Goatee. Well, we've got a good number of them over here now. And it looks like the rest of these forces will be cleaned on up. This priest does have a relic. It's probably to get that home. It is Pandora's Box. We hear Mythology cost us favor. Very fun. Sobek's now queued on up. And he will, of course, get a free Pet Chose. Blue's trying to get some more walls up over here. We've got an age up now for Odin. Mid-gold stronghold going up. We do now have Monument to the Priests there. Now town center established by Red, so now both players have 2 town centers. Red, of course, has this town center within his walls. Oh, this one center is exposed. Another prosperity is being summoned. Looks like not enough surface area for all these villagers. Like I said, could establish another mining camp there, just get better drop-off locations. Rock is taking some damage there, but should be able to get on out of there. Now the heavy spearman research now on the way. Jarls being put on the field. They're Ulf Jarls, which is the medium Jarls. Rhinoceros does go down there. Winter Harvest now queued on up. Rhinoceros does go down there. Big old stronghold built as well. So she has some good protection in this region. So has access to a locust god power, which could be very nice if the villagers get a little bit too stacked up, like right there. Of course, probably won't kill them off. And I think the sign also has the survival equipment, right? Does appear to be. Brock does get shot down. Villagers now being town city. We got the upgraded Frost Giant right here. Which improves their hit points by 33% and melee damage by 20%, and makes them breathe their frost breath 25% faster. Thundering Hooves now being researched by Sign as well. Ancient Goddess is getting pretty close to age up. She has queued up Thoth, which does provide access to Phoenix and to the Meteor God power. Other things it also does provide for is doubles the train rate chance at barracks and Miggle strongholds. Extra double units is very nice. Faster village gathering rate and wall elephant upgrade. Now it looks like the patron goddess is aging on up.
Interior.
Looks like the signs going from Huskarls, the counter range unit for the Norse. We do also have now a forward Monument of the Villagers. She must have deleted her previous Monument of the Villagers in order to deploy it forward. And she's also empowering it with the Pharaoh, so it gets some excellent radius there. Not to mention it will provide a bit of help for Jen. There's the radius. So now Frost cannot be summoned there, so it looks like she's going to be using these monuments to deny Frost. Though this could easily overran. Going back to this monument to the priest now. Red is trying to push along the flank. Science pushing forward to his opponent's base. The monument to the villagers have gone down. Locust summoned there onto the forces heading up north here. Slinger's hitting a ox cart, which is not great. Quarter batterium's hitting the Miggle stronghold as they're building some chariot archers now. Priest still smiting the Frost Giant. The Pharaoh's providing the empowerment of the monument to the priests. We got another siege powers engaged up here. Meteors smashing the army, eliminating most of it. Also sent the Rhinoceros into the Frost Giant. Double empowerment should be very nice. Red's trying to fall back a little bit though. And it is currently empowering the Miggle stronghold. Going for double camel riders. Another prosperity god power summoned. Phoenix does go down. The egg becomes extra cold and scrambled. Dark waters, medium camels being researched, or heavy camels. We do now have a possible age up of Balder, gets access to the Fire and Giants, and to the Ragnarok. Signs heading, moving around. This force a little bit wounded. Valkyrie should help heal them up. Villagers really gathering up this gold source. May want to split up. Looks like she or he is running out of some gold. Pharaoh hitting some of these priests or frost giants. Camera is coming from the flank. A new bike does jump in the middle of the fray. Slingers and Goaty engaging throwing axemen. We're now the cross god power here. The amount to the soldiers have gone down, or to the priest. But it looks like all the cameras are doing just fine. Only splits up half the army, but the cameras are pretty well buffed up. And we also got the Pharaoh still alive, smiting down some of these frost giants. Looks like I got another rock battlefield, and that the first one did go down, so that was the person built for rock. Frost will dethaw soon. Frost Giant push way forward. That Frost Giant's almost down. There's a little bit of smiting. We'll take it out. More camera riders push way forward. Red's starting to fall back now. Oh, portal battering ram hitting that siege workshop. Red's gonna be engaged behind those stone or the wooden walls. Multiple battering rams straight forward. Rock does land there and gets shot down. More Huskarls or Ulfsarks being queued on up with some more throwing axemen. We do now have the champion camel riders being queued on up, as well as some camel caravans. Not a great path for them though, only providing 18 gold. The number of villagers here is a little bit exposed. Balder is now being researched by Sign. We'll have access to Ragnarok and roll. Camera Rider's charging way forward. Trying to go straight for the great Jarls. We have now some these X-Men try and push way forward. Rear town center, not fortified. Sounds like a good number of the camels have gone down. Good number of Jarls still are on the field. For more throwing X-Men and Jarls, while Red's going for more Slingers, Spearmen, and Axemen. Now those units are starting to go on down. And it looks like Science trying to build a hill fort in a cinematic position. You're also going down to the Spearman. 4 cameras, good wave of cameras pushing forward. There must be an empowered Moogle stronghold back there. Another Frost summon there, but there's not massive armor there, so this Frost is not going to be that great. Science now aged on up, has 99 villagers in the field, and some reserve of resources, so could I to go for a Ragnarok. But may want to get out some trader caravans first. Go for all the research first. Frost will be subsiding in about 6 seconds. Everybody sort of immediately pulls back. Let's push forward and hit some of these units. Red has a decent force in the field. Just regular medium cherry archers though. Here comes the fire giant, a very powerful backline myth unit. Priest trying to immediately smite down the fire giant. Red's having trouble producing army to hold the line. These Goldie right now these Jarls are doing very good work being frontline with a good number of throwing axemen to the back line. Now I've got some siege weapons being pulled on field to engage the town center. Red's army is being cleaned on up. Side right now has an army of 106 versus an army of 25. Not looking good for Red. Number of trade caravans, which that path is horrible. He probably should not have gone for the trade caravans whatsoever. See how bad this path is. Let's got some villagers here and a Moogle stronghold by Red. This Moogle stronghold is not being empowered for all of those units being produced. But now we've got Ragnarok. Looks like Side's ready to roll out a big wave of heroes. 0 economy on the field at the moment. You may just want to queue up some gatherers. It looks like multiple gatherers have been queued enough. Bit low of gold though. Heroes of Ragnarok are advancing from multiple angles. They're affected by the upgrades, but not the medium or heavy upgrade. Heroes Ragnarok push their way forward against good damage, but we can have the Moogle stronghold. Patron Goddess needs to just hold on. Axemen still be a good call. These Heroes of Ragnarok are classified as infantry. Tries to push forward with a good number of units. It is below pop cap, so it has 4 gatherer queues going. A small force push forward. It will probably be trying to intercept some of these villagers.
Garrick.
Number of axemen there. Looks like Science also going for some trade caravans. I think you should have gone for that before you went for Ragnarok, so you at least had some economy going. Axemen in very good numbers right now. It should be pretty cheap at 70 resources in total. Breaking through some of that infrastructure now. It looks like there's not enough Axemen to stop the Heroes of Ragnarok. They do have 200 health with 46% melee resistance. Throwing axe or regular axe have 123 health and 51% melee resistance.
Into you.
And Red is go ahead and resign there. This ain't great, saying thank you for watching, and on the next replay. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm having trouble staying awake right now. I'm probably gonna call the stream a little bit early. My apologies. This ain't great, saying thank you for watching. Have a good